Okay, so tonight we're going to start off with more of a beginner-friendly session. Tonight we're going to have Simon. Simon, let's see, raise your hand. Show us who you are. Simon. So tonight we're going to have Simon. He had some questions. I'm sure that his questions are same and similar questions to most of the new guys here. For those who are here for the advanced session, you got to give it a good 20 to 30 minutes. If you don't want to stick around, you can just come off the call and come back in 20, 30 minutes. It's going to be a little boring. But if you want to stick around, stick around. Simon had some questions, and I've received the same questions from some of the new guys. So I decided to make this session and talk about it while we're all here together. Simon.
Yeah.
I'm going to share my screen. Okay. And let me just see if I have this thing opened. Actually, before I share my screen, what questions did you have? So I could start going in through it.
When you put a ticker name right in the chat.
Are you reading off a note?
Yeah, I put some questions. This way I don't forget.
Oh, I like it. Okay, go. Let's go.
Yeah. When you put a ticker, right, the name in the chat, how do you enter it in a trade tab? As far as when you do options, I know you have like a expiration date and some kind of numbers for how much it goes for, you know.
You're talking about the SPY chart?
The SPY, yeah, the SPY, exactly, right.
Okay, when I call out on SPY options, I usually like to put in the direct link for that option chart, just to save time for most of the new traders who find themselves getting lost looking through it on the actual trade. So I just give you guys the direct link. All you got to do is copy that link all the way to the dot, SPY, all that number. They all mean something. It means a ticker name, the date, the strike, and either it's a call or a put. The more you're gonna get familiar with how to work with options, you're gonna see you yourself won't even look for the option on the options chain. You're just gonna type it in on the address. So anytime I post something that looks like a weird number and with a dot that starts with a dot, it's usually the direct link to that options chart. So all you got to do is copy, paste it. The chart is up. You're good to go.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the reason why I post that link is so you guys can have a better execution. Okay. It's just like we spoke about last week with the firefighters. When they have an emergency, their drill goes off. They have less than a minute to get into their truck and be gone. The same thing when you see when an alert comes out, let's say you're following Ferris, you're following Sam, you're following me. It doesn't matter who you're following, but an alert comes out, whether you know or not, your mission as an executor is to be on that chart as fast as possible so you can get a good entry. Because sometimes we're going to post an entry at, let's say, $1 a contract, and then by the time you get on it, you got it at $1.20.
Right.
That's not good. You understand? By the time we're going to be taking profits, you're just getting in. It's going to happen to you a lot in the beginning because you're a beginner. But the more you practice it, even off market, you understand? You're going to learn how to do it quick. You got to practice when I'm not on. So when I am on, you do it quick. Just like you turn on your computer, you open up a browser. The same thing goes with a chart. Sometimes during the day, I'm not going to post a chart. I'm going to say, guys, get into 390 puts. You got to know how to go into that options chain and get that option into your chart. If you want me to show you how to do it, I'll show you. Do we have any other students here who don't know how to look for an option? Copy and watch this. Yes. Now I'm gonna share screen. Okay. You know what, Noor? Let me get your. Actually, I'll do it on my screen.
Let me send you the
You want to do it on
Yes.
Boris? I mean, not Boris. Simon.
Yeah.
You have your team viewer open?
Yeah.
Send me your information. Go. I'll do it on your computer because you asked me that question.
What should I send you? The team viewer?
Team viewer, yes. Is your chart opened?
Yeah. Okay.
Send it to me.
You want me to text you, or I can just get rid of the ID number?
Okay, what is it? 960?
No, it's 308
Okay.
121
Okay.
680.
Okay. What is your
Password?
your password? Yes.
It's a small letter J. Everything is small letter. J for Q, A, P as Peter, J, D as David, number 9.
Okay. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, screen, let's say, 1 second, where is that guy? Okay, share. Let me know if you can see the screen.
Yeah.
Simon, am I touching his, Simon, am I touching your screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, where is your options one? Let me see, where's your options?
Should I open the other? I have 2 screens.
It's okay, just watch here real quick, okay? So let's say, you guys watching? Yeah, his screen is showing. I can't see it on my end. I'm using just my computer tonight. Okay, so what we do is you're gonna go to trade. You see the tab right up here? There's monitor, trade, analyze, scan, market watch, charts. Anytime you want to go back to your trading and you got lost, just look for the charts tab. Okay? If you want to add options and you don't know how to add options, just go into trade right here. The second tab. Go to trade. And you're going to type in the ticker right here.
Right.
And it's going to give you a bunch of dates. So let's say you're going to choose a date. Let's say February 23 right here. You're going to click it, right? Once you click it, guys, please mute.
Still in great shape.
Okay. So what you do is once you click the date, you suddenly have all these option chains opened with a bunch of strikes.
Okay.
On the right, it's puts. You see, it says right here, puts.
Right.
You see that? On the left side, it's calls. In the middle, it's going to show you the dates, the strike price. So if I'm going to tell you guys, I want you to add 410 puts on your chart. You're going to go into 410. The puts are right here. You're going to right click. You can either copy it and paste it to your address bar of the chart, but I really like to add it to the watch list. So we're going to go add into the puts. And it pops on the left side right there. You see that?
Yeah.
Now let's say we're gonna add, let's say we're trading the 410 puts right now. And 20 minutes from now, I'm like, guys, we're changing the strike. We're going to 412 puts. Add it to your watch. Boom. Add it into puts. Now, let's say, guys, later today, I'm saying, guys, let's switch to 414. Add it to puts. So let's say earlier we traded 410. Just giving you an example. I clicked it right here. Anything you click here goes into this screen. Why? Do you see the screen 7 here? It's linked to this screen as well. If you don't want to link it, just unlink it or change to a different color. I prefer to unlink if you don't want to link anything. Okay. So why I like to add it on the watch list is anytime we're trading 410, and then I'll be like, guys, let's switch back to the 412. Boom. All you gotta do is just click it. One click. I'm not sure why. It's I think what's his name? Simon's internet is a little bit. Oh, never mind. Simon's internet is here. So let's say we're trading 410, and I'm like, guys, switch to the 412. All you gotta do is click. We switch to the 414, click. All you gotta do is just click and you're on the chart. The reason why these charts look funny is because it's obviously not the same day and not the same strike. The volume is dead, but this is that's the whole point. Is I like to have a watch list on the side. Now, for some of you who have small screens and don't want to have all this coming staying out, you know, just choose your chart and you can click the arrow right here, and it closes it. And you can have a bigger chart for your likings. If you got to go back to your options watch list, just click back on the arrow on the left side of the screen, and it comes up again. It's very simple. Did you understand how to add?
Yeah.
If you don't remember, this session is recorded. All you got to just rewind it again. It's very simple. Another thing is on a daily basis, I want you guys to go into your help section. You're going to click on your help, and I want you to collect your garbage at least once a day. You're going to click it and then go back to charts. Okay, this thing cleans all your garbage, all your dump files, all these caches that you have saved up, and your chart will work a lot faster. Any other questions, Simon?
Let's see. Okay. Last question I have. How do you leave, like when you say, you know, leave runners or put them on a watch list? I mean, you already said about watch list, but what about runners and when you put the alert?
So you're asking me when I put an alert, I keep telling everyone to sell, keep runners,
Right.
Runners running. Okay. So for a beginner, I don't want you guys, let me stop sharing my screen. Actually, no, I'll keep the screen. I'll show you what I'm talking about. For a beginner, I don't want you to focus on runners. I want you to focus on securing profits, prematuring. Okay? Don't try to be the guru right now, because right now you need to learn and perfect your skills. If your skills are not sharpened, in a matter of time, you're going to lose. Okay? I talk to people on a daily basis where they can have a good 2-3 weeks of a good streak, and then out of nowhere, one wrong mistake, and they go back 3 weeks. And that one mistake starts to build the next mistake, and that starts killing your confidence in buying, you know? And then it starts to confuse you, and then you start taking premature profits when you're not supposed to be. So don't put yourself in a position where it's going to put you backwards. Be disciplined, small steps, brick by brick, you'll get far. But the problem with most traders, okay, is where they get comfortable after so many wins, they get cocky. They get too, you know, they start showing off, they start acting out of the line, they start trading heavier, you know, and that's when the market smacks. And it's not just one smack, it's an echo smack. It echoes, it affects you, it affects your confidence, it affects your emotions, your fears are all of a sudden changing. It's just like, you know, you don't want to do that to yourself. You want to keep sure, you want to make sure you're always on a streak. And the best way to do it is to trade just for 1 hour on your real account and paper trade for the rest of your trading session. The reason why we do that is so we don't break habits. Okay? Only if you only see an A+ setup during the remaining of the day and you have some buying power left, yes, you can switch to your real account. But every time you make a trade, you basically put yourself at risk again. So if you don't have a big account, or you're coming from a background that you did lose money in the past and you don't have any room for losing anymore, so you got to do the same thing. You got to, tell yourself, for the time being, I'm going to paper trade for the rest of the day. There's no shame in paper trading. I'm going to tell you again. It's fun. Sometimes it's fun. It opens up a lot of doors that you never thought that could be open. Okay? 10 to 15 years ago, there was no such thing as paper trading. 30 years ago, no one dreamed of something like this. People had to pay the broker to trade for them. Today, we could do it ourselves, even better than the brokers. Okay? So don't get caught up and then screw yourself over. Make sure that you're disciplined, because like I said, I've seen students do good and then they just screw it up, and then they go back to step A again. Any other question? You said leaving runners. Okay, for those who really want to know what leaving runners mean, is let me first pull up a options chart. 2019, 18. One second, guys. Okay. So let's just say, I'll give you an example. Let's pretend this is a calls chart. Is everyone watching? Let's just say this is a calls chart on the bottom. And so right here, let's say somewhere around here. Somewhere around here, I'm starting to alert for calls. Okay? We start buying. Some of us start position right here. Some of us start positioning a little here. And I always have some people who wait for another 2-3 seconds or 2-3 minutes, and they buy a little bit more deeper. And some of us are averaging down, right? Is everyone following me?
Yeah.
So the same thing here. Let's say from here, I'm alerting it. And some people manage to buy here, some here, and some right here. Some of us buy 3 contracts, some of us buy 10, some 50, some 200, each to his own. But let's say you bought 10 contracts. You started here, 2, 3, 10, and now from here to here, it's going up, just like right here. You see this? So let's say this is the move. It's starting to come up from 270 all the way to 312. This is where I would usually sell a good amount, right? Let's say this is the bottom right here. And here's my average. And now it's coming up. And right here, I would take a big amount. Let's say if I took 10, I would sell 7 right here at the top and put a stop loss on my entry for the rest right here at the bottom. And then I'll let it dip again. Yeah, I'll zoom in so you guys can see the chart a little better. You see right here? So here, I'll sell the first 70% on the chunk. And I'll leave 30% with the stop loss. This is the stop loss right here. We're going to change the stop loss color to green. Okay. It comes back down to a dip. But what happens just because it didn't hit the stop loss right here, it held. Ever since then, it's been uptrending all the way up here from 280 all the way up to like 350. If you zoom up, it went all the way to $4. So imagine you held 3 contracts from, I'm sorry, I'm using someone else's computer and it's a little slow. And it's not easy to show, but here, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. 1 second, 1 second. Let me just make this more clear. Is it more clear now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's say I sold 70% here. It comes back down. I'm like, keep runners, keep runners. So what you do is automatically you set a stop loss for here. It comes here. It starts going on the way up. These 3 contracts can give you a good amount of profits as well. So up here, I'll be like, guys, sell some more, take profits. So here you would sell another 1, maybe 2, and pick up your stop loss right here now. And if you have 1 or 2 or 3, you could sell it all the way up here. You can always squeeze that last juice on the top, but don't use heavy positions. Only use heavy positions if you have house money built up and you have money that you don't care to lose. Not your main initial investment. Okay? So some people buy 100 contracts. They'll sell 60, 70 up here. Put a stop loss. And the other 30, 40 will also bring a good amount. You know, when you're talking about 100 contracts, you're selling 60 to 70%, and you're riding 40 on the way up. These 40 contracts could give you more profit on the runners than your initial 70%. You understand? So that's why it's important to always remember not to sell everything at once. Unless you're a beginner. If you're a beginner, it's okay to sell everything. And it's okay not to take every trade. Sometimes you could just sit on the live and wait. Wait another 20, 30 minutes for a good entry. Don't rush to take every trade. Okay? Are we all on the same page? Do we all know what keeping runners and letting the runners run now?
Yeah. What about the stop loss you were mentioning now? Where do you
what about the stop loss?
Where do you mention the stop loss? I know you gotta set somewhere, right? The stop loss.
Okay, so let's clear some of these lines up. Okay. Okay, here. Where is your remove old drawing? No. Okay, whatever. Oh my God. Sorry. Just trying my. Okay. So. Let's fix this for you. By the way, guys, I want you to, for those of you who just got their charts installed, I highly recommend you to do this on your charts as well. Follow me real quick. Open your charts. And I want you to, Noor, open your charts. Juan, you as well.
Me too?
If you want to. Let me know when you're ready and we'll move forward.
Right.
Okay. Amos, you ready?
1 minute, I'm logging in.
Who else needs time besides Amos? I see Linda is logging in. Linda, log in, really good. Yofi. Okay, good. Amos, you ready?
Yeah,
Okay, so right click on your chart. And I want you to go to add a drawing. Okay, when you add a drawing,
to the 1 minute chart.
it doesn't matter anywhere on the chart. You're gonna add a drawing and you're gonna scroll to the top right where the price level money sign is. You see that, the dollar sign? You're
Yeah,
gonna click that and go anywhere on the chart. Look at me, watch real carefully. Click anywhere and it should form some sort of line for you.
Right.
Does everyone have a red line or chopped line? Or if it's a red line, just let me know. Raise your hand. How many do we have with the red line?
yeah, I have a red line.
Okay, so follow me. I want you to double click. If you have a chopped line, you don't got to do anything. You're good. Okay, red
Okay.
line means we need to fix it. So I want you to double click on the red line. You're going to have a window pop up. When the window pops up, click on the color. You see where the color red is?
Yeah,
You're going to change it to the top right, the gray one right here. You see that? Okay, once you switch into that, the next thing you want to click on is right next to it, the style. You're going to click the style and you're going to click on the third option, the chopped up one. The next, what you're going to do is on the top left, you're going to see an option that says show price. I want you to click on that and show it on the right. Okay, once you're done, you're going to click on the bottom where it says save as default. Save it. Once you saved it, I want you to click on the green OK. Do you like the way it looks on your chart now?
yeah,
Okay, now try it again. Right click on the chart, add a drawing, go up to the money sign, go anywhere on the chart and click it. And you'll see the levels it's going to give you with the prices on the right. We
yeah, I see
understand?
it.
So anytime I bring up a chart, either a call or a put, you know, what I want you to do is make sure you keep levels up on your chart. So let's say right here, you started to buy the dips. Let's say this became lower and it's starting to move up. Make sure to take a drawing set and put it here at the low. So when you take your 70% or whatever it is, mentally, you know that here's your stop loss.
Okay.
Now you see another hold. And when it continues up, your stop loss becomes now here. And if it continues up, your stop loss becomes between the VWAP and that. Mental. Because sometimes it's going to crack the VWAP on the way down, like right here. Stop you out and come up again. So we want to keep the stop loss as higher as possible, but not high to where it's going to wick you back out. So even if you have on options, you have like 10 contracts here, you sold 7, you're keeping runners, you sold more here. It comes back down. It holds above your 2-3 stop loss areas. You could buy it again. It comes up, you sell again. This is a scalp right here. This is like a 2-3 minute move. Boom. But this right here could take 25 minutes. So sometimes I'll be like, hey, leave runners. That means there's time for it. Sometimes I'll tell you, hey, scalp. There's a long scalp like this one. And sometimes it's just one scalp, like right here. You know, this is like 1-2 candles, but it's just chopped up. I'm going to show you a better chart. Okay. Like right here. Let's say I'll be like, guys, quick scalp. Boom. If I say, guys, leave runners, you know, a move like this is coming. But that doesn't mean hold your full position. Because if, God forbid, you know, the move doesn't go the way it's supposed to, and all of a sudden we have a weird news coming out, or something is happening in the economy, Fed is talking, you know, CPI, this, that, anything can happen. So during these times, you want to make sure that you're always trading with the right discipline, the right amount, right stop losses, and don't change it. Even if you're getting comfortable, you're winning, you're doing good, do not change it. Don't go too heavier at one point. You know, don't change your routine, because that one change will bring you back. Okay, now we understood what keeping runners are?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, I don't have any questions for now, I guess. Everything's okay for now.
Okay, perfect. So I'm stopping the share. And I'm disconnecting from you. Let's continue this. Let's continue the session. Anyone else have questions? What is? I would like to understand the reason for opening different instances of TOS instead of opening the program only once and having server windows. The reason behind it is, I don't know if you noticed, but when I was fixing your charts, I also fixed some of your numbers on your charts.
Yes, the memory, right?
The memory, the speed. So I want you to know that it's important not to have separated windows, but it's very crucial to have every window in a separate TOS window, even though it's they don't recommend it, you know, but obviously they're not going to recommend it. You know what I mean? So just any window you want to open, make sure you open a new TOS.
Perfect.
No detaching. And make sure you always watch the tabs of your thinkorswims that you have open. Make sure you don't have any detachments. Every window should have a separate TOS. And once a day, make sure you go to that help section and clean your garbage.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Perfect.
Okay.
So any other questions?
Yes, in terms of risk management, I have noticed that, of course, with closer expiration is more risky, very volatile. So do you recommend at the beginning decrease the size when it's more near to the expiration?
I have a suggestion for you, Noor. Not just for you, but for most of the ones who are on the same level as a beginner. And I recommend you to lower your paper trade account.
Yeah, I
Lower
was thinking to 10K.
The size of account that you have right now is about 20,000, right? I'm giving you just an example, $20,000 account, $30,000 account. Change your thinkorswim, the paper trade, to 20 or 30,000.
How do you change it?
It's very easy, very simple. I don't want to share my screen just to show how to reset it. It's 2 seconds. You go and intrigue.
It's in settings. You could just reset it, Simon. It's pretty easy.
Okay.
No, he's not asking how to reset it. He's asking how to
How to change the amount, no?
Yeah.
On the account. Yeah, you could change that too.
You see, Boris, you want to show us?
I'm gonna give you. I'm starting my trading computer up now, so I'll be able to set it up. I'm on the Mac.
No problem. You know,
Go to monitor.
okay, look here. I know how to do it. I want to have someone else guide you through it. I want to see if you know if they really know what they're. Why not? Screen 3. Okay. This is not a paper trade account though. Who is on a paper trade account right now?
Me.
Boris, give me your team viewer.
Hold on, but I'm on my tiny laptop though, bro. Hold up. Bear with me.
I think you could only do it during market hours, if I'm not mistaken.
To adjust the account? No, you could do it even now.
Boris, send me your team viewer. I'll come in. I just don't have my paper trade account open. I barely been using it.
I got you right now. You'll see. I'm gonna send it over to you.
I want somebody that knows how to do it.
738.
Say it again.
Oh,
Seven.
all you have to do is right click.
I can't hear the numbers.
738.
Okay.
087 363.
Okay. What's your password?
S, all lowercase. SXAUN 2 MN.
M is in Mary, then?
N as in Nancy.
Okay, you guys see a screen? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute myself and we'll have Boris just guide us. Go ahead, guide us.
It's on the same spot basically where you guys were trying to trade and looking at the chart.
Speak a little louder, Boris.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, hit on monitor. And right underneath, you have an option to click on adjust on the account. Click on that. And it will give you the option to basically reset it to 25,000, 10,000, whatever amount you want to reset it to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you repeat it, please?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, hit on monitor.
Yes.
And then on monitor, go a little bit lower to where it says adjust account.
Right.
Are you seeing my mouse or no?
No.
No.
On a monitor, you see where my mouse is right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Goes to the right. It says that adjust.
Go towards the right on your screen and then scroll down a little bit. Just go down a little bit where it says adjust account. Do you see that? If you do not see that, then most probably you would have to go up on your account and change it to margin. Instead of having it on all accounts, change it to margin and then adjust account would show up.
Okay.
You see it now?
Yeah.
You hit on that and just change the amount. That's it. We just reset it to
Very nice.
10,000.
Okay, perfect. Can I disconnect
Okay.
now?
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Okay, do you all understand how to reset or
Yeah,
change your
Yes.
account
Yes.
sizes?
Yes.
Okay, what's next?
Josie, can I ask one more thing?
Go for
Can
it.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. About the stop, do you think it's a good idea to raise the stop? I mean, after you have the stop, instead of cancel and click again, I was moving the line, you know.
You can move the stop loss. You can grab it, drag it up, or drag it down.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to? I guess he's talking about trailing stop loss. Trailing.
I don't use trailing stop losses.
Yeah. The
I would
bad
just take
thing
that
of
stop loss and just drag it up if you're using a stop loss.
yeah,
Unless you want to click.
the issue I have is that when I have different entries, let's say 3 entries, then I should manage 3 stops.
Okay, if that's what you like to do, you could do that. I personally don't do it. Whatever amounts I buy, I remember
so you,
by heart. I have a risk management that I have it by heart. It's just like driving a stick shift, you know, after a while it becomes like a muscle memory. And depends on the size of the account. I always start small. I always start small unless I know it's a scalp. If it's a scalp, I have an amount for a scalp. If it's a bigger scalp, I have an amount for a bigger scalp. If it's keeping runners, I have a different strategy. It's always different. You know, you can't just use the same cookie cut thing every 5 minutes of the trade, you know?
Mhm.
Sometimes the market gives you a small profit. Sometimes the market gives you a longer profit. Sometimes you're going to see a big pullback, but a bigger run up. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you might screw up. Remember, this is trading has a lot of approaches, and you need to learn more than one approach. You can't use the same approach on every trade. Yeah, this was Friday. For those who were here Friday, this was Friday. It was fun. I remember catching all this knife. I remember catching this. I remember catching this. We're scalping small here and there. And, you know, everybody thought around here that that's it. You know, it's coming to puts. Even the veterans in the group told me, Yossi, you know, we're going to see a knife coming. I said, guys, we're not going to see a knife coming. We're going to see a good comeback. And for those who don't know or didn't see, we had a good reversal here. And here was the confirmation. Everybody kept asking me, Yossi, what confirmation were you looking for? Okay. If you look at the 5-minute chart, you're going to see a nice doji in here.
Right.
All right. And you're going to see a super bullish candle. Okay. Bottom wick.
What is doji?
Doji means there's a reversal coming, but usually it happens when you see a flat bottom. You see, there's no flat bottom, it's a wick up, but there's hardly any wick on top. That means the next candle is going to push up. And look, it just kept pushing up, even though it was choppy. But sometimes a move has to make a pullback before the next run up. Another pullback, another run up. So don't let these moments make you get rid of your runners. You could sell 70% going from here till here. Okay, you want me to make it a little bit more wider and lighter? Here. So this area right here, you could already take 70%. The remaining is where you start cutting runners off. And this is your next. This is a mindset of a 70-30. And if you keep this mindset, eventually within a month or two, your account will grow a lot bigger. You're going to take less hits. And even if you do take hits, you already secured your 70%. When you secure 70%, that means you took your initial investment and you're leaving mostly profits to run. If you put in 10 grand and that 70% made you 30, 40%, You already have 3 grand, 4 grand in your profits. So if you sold 70% of your position, you practically took most of your initial investment. So whatever happens with the trade from now going forward, that's where you have to learn how to manage your runners. Those are the runners. That's where your money making is. You see, most people see it as, like, oh, it's so simple to just buy and sell the top. But not every trade works that way. Sometimes you could take an entry and it's not working in your favor. Sometimes you're doing the right thing. You see the chart pointing up, you see good volume coming up, but it's not working in your favor. What are you going to do at that moment? So if you keep a good routine and you're going to stick to your discipline and constantly do the same routine on your trades, even if you do take hits, your hits will be very small. If you have a bigger account, you're not going to get hurt. If you have a small account, you're not going to feel the pain because your losses are small. But if you know how to play with your runners, that's where you make good money. That's where the money comes in. And then after good dips, you could start going back into that same play again. Don't have that gamble mentality to just throw on every dip. The only ones who can Pac-Man dips are the ones who have house money, the ones who are playing with winning money, money that we don't care if it doesn't go our way. But if it does go our way, you guys are going to bang. It's a mindset. It's going to take you time to understand it. Some people want to come in with 50 grand and start doing it, but it doesn't work the same. You're not going to trade the same way. Your emotions won't let you trade that way. But watch how you're going to trade when you start trading with house money. You're going to have confidence like there's no tomorrow. You're going to buy every dip because this is all house money. If you're up 50 grand and you lost 5 grand on a trade because you ate the dips, are you going to cry over it? No. You'll throw another 5 grand because you have house money. But what if that money was your main source of investment and you lost 5 grand? You're probably going to be upset. You're probably going to go to sleep very, depressed. You're not going to talk to your spouse the right way, maybe, or you just don't want to go out anywhere. You don't want to spend money. I know how it feels when losses come, but I'm not pointing into anyone in specific. Okay, I'm talking to myself too. Sometimes we all go through it. We're human beings. Okay. You guys probably take 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 losses. If I take a loss, it's usually over 50, 100 grand at a time. And there are days where I cut big, but what's important is as a trader, we need to get more wins than the actual losses. What else do you have to ask before we continue? I really want to talk more in depth.
For example, when you didn't take a good entry, do you have, let's say, in your mind, stop loss? For example, don't improve the average after 40% rate or something like that? Or
if you have a bad entry, you break even if you could, and you come out and you reposition again. That's my rules. That's what if I have a bad entry, I'll get a good dip, I'll break even, I'll come out.
Very nice.
And I'll look for a new entry again. That's very important to know as a trader. This is where most traders get fucked. They have a bad entry, they average down, and that goes against them.
Holding.
And that's when you start losing more. So if you have a bad entry, what I like to do is I like to get a good dip, somehow break even, or at least close to break even, and pull out. If it's just a light position, I'll cut it and move on. I'll wait for a good entry. If you get a bad entry, you're going to get caught in the waves, and those waves will basically work against you.
Okay, I am writing everything. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
let's move forward. I want to give a chance to
Okay.
someone else.
Yes, please.
Juan,
I'm good for now.
you're good for now.
Mm.
Amos,
I'm writing everything.
Yeah, I'm good.
Boris, anybody from the beginner sections, I want you to ask me one more question, at least from someone else, before we move forward.
Uh,
How to do the right charting?
Can you say it again?
How to do the right charting?
Okay, that's a general question. It's like asking me how to scalp. But what do you mean by what's the right way to do the charting?
Like,
You
how
want-
do you the right lines, like from what to what, you know what I mean? Because there's wicks, there's this, there's that. Like, do you go on top of the wicks? Do you do on the bottom of the wicks? You know, and
Depends on the chart you're looking at. What are we talking about? A regular penny stock, or are we talking about SPY? We're talking about like everything is different. SPY,
yeah,
okay. SPY has a few time frames, and the best way to chart SPY is if you have my charts. I practically did the work for you. All you have to do is chart throughout the day. And the way you chart throughout the day is very simple. You know, like you just see your supports and your levels. So if let's say tomorrow I'm trading SPY, I'm looking at the 5-minute chart. I'll zoom out to the 4-hour right here.
where I
Well,
don't see.
You don't see my screen, right?
No. Here we go. Yeah.
So very simple. What I would do is I would go to the 4-hour chart
Okay.
and I would look back at the, the past few days, which is this zone right here.
Mm-hmm.
I will somehow try to get it into the center like that. See? And zoom in. See that?
Yeah.
Now we already established on my charts that these two double red lines are danger zone.
Or this thing. Yeah.
Okay, so we see that so far the upper side is holding here somehow. This is the trading range from here till here. This is the trading range. Are we all seeing this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna delete it. I just want you to see the trading range that we have. So what we do is we're gonna right click, add a drawing, that same dollar sign that we talked about earlier. And you want to start like this is the first place I would put it in. See that? It did its bouncings,
Yeah.
but it landed here. And then it started again and it landed lower. But I still would like to put it right here. Okay, because this was a major pullback. Stocks always go in waves. Look, breakout, held, broke out. Same thing here. See, it keeps going up and goes down, but no matter what, it always comes down.
Yeah.
Again, it comes down. So I would put it right here. Okay. Next thing I would do is I would take another one and put it right here.
Why there?
Right there. Very simple. Is when you look at the history, you could see a lot in this zone. There's a lot going on in this zone. And I'm going to put the line and you'll see why. Right here. There it is. This is the zone. Right about here. Sorry. Boom. So when you look at the history, you see this was a breakout. This broke out. When it came back down, it held.
Mm.
Not only that, it held higher here. So this right here, this is a confirmation of up. So let's say this day, this was the lowest it went. The next day when SPY opens up, usually it dumps. But if you look at the bigger picture and you see that, hey, the low of the day is still holding from yesterday's low, that means it's a confirmation of an uptrend. So let's remove this. So it went up. You see right here, look at this. You see this zone with this wick?
Yeah.
It came down, but it wicked up. That means all this wick means nothing. Because on a bigger time frame, it takes 4 hours to form this candle. So when you start seeing the wick, it's starting to wick from the bottom, you know, it went all the way up here. This just shows the volatility between buyers and sellers at the time. They all caught the bottom and they saved it. The next thing, it cracked through it. You see that? Cracked through it. Not only that, it came up, resisted. It came up again, resisted. Same thing here until a breakout happened. Same thing here, crack here. You know, it's puts overnight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you draw these specific lines moving forward, now let's go into the 5-minute chart. You see the 5-minute? What we just drew? How things are looking more clear, especially from the Friday session. We just draw that line right there. We put that line in there. And look how nice it consolidated on that level. So if you're looking back 4 or 5 days and you see what's going on in a bigger time frame, it's going to be more clear and easy for you to read as SPY keeps going. So look, if you zoom in, into the 5-minute, you're going to see that regardless of how much it moved, I just drew my downtrends, uptrends, downtrends, uptrends. Even here, look, this is an uptrend right here. This is a nice come up options chart. Options chart. This is a nice puts, boom. This is nice calls, boom. Look how many opportunities you have throughout the day. Okay? But you want to do these things when you have multiple accounts already. In the beginning, you want to use as less time as possible on your real account, secure profits, and only take good setups. If you know you're going to trade for 4 hours today, don't have those itchy fingers to take the first trade on your real account right away. Especially if you're a beginner. You want to put your real account aside. Trade on your paper trade. And when you see a good setup coming and a good reversal or a good confirmation, be like, okay, you know, sometimes using your paper trade account first could work in your benefit. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes you could be buying on your paper trade. Listen to this very carefully. Sometimes you can buy on your paper trade, let's say in options, you got in, I put in an alert. Hey guys, 180 average. You got in on your paper trade, 180 average. And all of a sudden these options are starting to come down towards the 130. We're buying the dips because we see a reversal. I would jump on my real account and take 1 or 2 contracts because, hey, my entry is better than everyone else. So if my 1 or 2 contracts won't go up from here, I lost maybe $20, $40. But if their contracts didn't move up, they bought the dips, they're going to lose the $500. You know what I mean? Or 1,000 or 2,000. I'm just giving you an example. What I like to do is sometimes if I have a small entry, what I like to do a small entry, and if I see more room on the way down, and it's a lot better of an entry, I'll hop on another account and I'll buy it on a different account. But only if I know that, hey, it's moving. If I know it's not moving, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna add the dips. I'm not gonna look at my other accounts. Sometimes I'll be in a position and I'm in at $3 and I'm buying the dips closer to 2. So my average is 240, 230. And now I'm giving it to the group at $2 because it's a good entry. So sometimes my entry is a little bit more than you guys because I'm there first. I'm first in the line. So it's very important to trade more on your paper. And when you see that good opportunity, you take it on your real account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you practice it, you'll see you'll become a sniper. That's why you always see me putting up a sniper picture. Why? Because sometimes I'm waiting for that right entry. I'm waiting for that right dip. Sometimes you can't catch the dip. Sometimes you could be buying the dips and by the time it comes back up, you only broke out even. How many times it happened to you where you bought the dips and when I'm telling you guys take profits and you're just, hey, I just broke even.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is do it the right way. Use your paper trade. If you have a small account, you're not listening. If you have a small account, use your paper trade. And when you see a good average, just jump on your real account and get a better entry. And you don't need to go heavy. You could go light so you can continue going on throughout the day. Are you understanding? Sometimes you can paper trade and chart and move with the flow. And when you see a nice flow coming, go on your real account, take 4 or 5 contracts. It goes up, take the profits. In the beginning, you have to be like that. I know someone who grew a $2,000 account to $15,000 in 1 month of just practicing this, what I'm telling you now. I asked him, I said, what made you make all that money? He said to me, you know, this is what I did. I went on my real account, on my paper trade account, and I got better entries on my real account. So give that a try. Okay. But don't go heavy, please. Don't go heavy. Don't go heavy. Get that heavy thing out of your head. I only want to hear from you heavy when you have house money. I have a few students who have good house money. So they love Pac-Maning.
Yes, so what does it mean house money? Like, let's say you made today 100 grand, so you only use that or house money from other days?
House money means money that
Previous wins.
win money. Let's say you have 30 grand in your account that you made winnings from. Like your account is up 30 grand. So you have 30,000 house money. You can afford screwing around with that kind of money because that money came to you from winning.
You also have to be careful not to lose it, give it back, right?
That's why we have strategies and we stick to our discipline.
Correct.
Remember,
Last question. Yossi, last question.
yes, Mr. Godzilla.
How do you find the Godzillas?
Stop, please. Stop. I'm gonna share that video, bro.
In the zoo.
Fridays, we had a lot of Godzillas.
Friday, yeah, we had. Did you participate in any of the live trades on Friday?
I was at the paper trading, yeah.
But you participated. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, today I logged into what's his name? Simon's chart. And I saw some beautiful executions. Even though he's still a new guy, he doesn't know what the heck, you know, but I saw him, he bought it all the way at the bottom, sold it at the top. Very nice, Simon. Good stuff.
That's right. I didn't know what I was doing, but I tried. I think I got it more or less now, more, you know.
You'll see. Give yourself 2 more months. Okay, I'm not gonna say a week. Give it 2 months. You're catching. You know, some people take a year to catch it. Some people take 2 months. You know, I mean, you've been giving time for trading, right?
Right.
I see. It's important to give in a lot of time into trading. Okay, I wanna move this session a little bit more into advanced stuff. Okay, if you're a beginner and you could just sit and back and watch and let the more advanced guys ask questions. I know Intrigue in the back there has the questions for us. I know Shmuel has questions, Sam D has questions tonight, Hassan. So go ahead. Let's talk about your weaknesses and how we can identify them.
You kind of hit it. You kind of hit it on the money with kind of like the exit strategy when it's not going your way. That's what's been my problem. One, itchy finger, lack of discipline. Itchy finger on the first, you know, especially on the open. Once that bell rings, it's just like, I don't know, that adrenaline rush, and it's just like totally different. Two, going right off the rip onto my paper trading. I mean, my cash account has been even and just going at it, just diving in wrong. You know, the exiting and trying to break even on the losses. Like, so catching, if I go into a put and the put is starting to go against, is going against, and the charts, like all the charts is basically telling me, all the time frames is telling me, okay, this thing is on its way up. You know, volume is coming in, RSI is showing like, you know, it's breaking that 50 mark, it's starting to head up towards the 70. And it's scary because when it starts hitting that area, you know, you don't know if it's gonna really shoot past the 70 on the RSI in the higher time frame, or is it not? You know what I mean? Like, it's so many variables, man.
I hear you. I hear you. You're not the only one who's been going through this.
I keep getting caught. in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
So I want you to try a different approach this week. I want you to try an approach by going the front line with your paper trade first. All right, that's the change we're going to make this week. Instead of starting your real account and focusing that first 1 hour on your real account, I want you to start paper trading and look at it as, you know, before you go to the gym, before you start your workout, what do you normally do before your workout?
Stretch.
Stretch.
You know, right? Yeah, stretch.
What do you do before you drive your car? You start it and you warm it up.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with the bike. You start riding your bike, you start leaning left and right to warm up the tires.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing goes with our fingers and our minds. When the bell rings, I'll tell you what goes through each and every trader. When the bell rings, everyone's hearts is racing now. Everyone's racing. They're waiting for that next call or the next breakout. And sometimes they take it and then they're like, oh shit, I just made the biggest mistake because it just went against me. You know, the first few minutes of market open is terrible. Unless you're swinging and you're just profiting off of it, or you wait for the right dip. You know, don't be that guy that jumps right away. because obviously it's been proven that we can make money throughout the whole day. Okay, so the first few minutes of market open, I want you to be on your paper trade account and go crazy. You understand what I mean? Like, buy every dip, sell every rip. I want you to move your fingers as quick as possible. I want you to click that mouse as much as you can. I want you to add lines. I want you to draw it down. That first 10, 15 minutes should be brutal for you. So when you're ready to jump on your real account, your fingers are moving. Your chart game is on fire. You're in the groove. You understand? And when you find that good entry coming in, you know that's an entry. Take it on your real account. Sometimes you could play on your paper trade. You get we spoke about before, you'll get an average of like $2 and that thing dipped all the way down to 80 cents. But an hour later, you see a reversal coming. You're like, hey, this is the time for me to get on my real account. You know what I mean? You got to be that hawk. You got to look for that moment. Sometimes you could be paper trading for 2 hours. And that third hour comes an opportunity. Instead of taking that opportunity on your paper trade and saying, hey, you know what? Let me test my theory. Take it on your real account, even with a small amount. Get your feet wet. Get your feet wet. And once you get into the groove, I'm the same way. If I'm not in the groove, I'm going to I won't call out the right place. When I'm focused, I had my, my coffee and nobody's around me to disrupt me and my phone is off. I get in the moment, in the groove, and it works out. And it's always been like that. So if it works for me, it should work for you guys as well. So this week, I want you guys to take that approach. Number one, like I said, jump with your real account, put it on the side. Keep it open, okay? Have that thing open, ready to execute. Whatever chart
will that have an effect having a paper trade and your real account open to no? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Just make sure you know the difference of your paper trade account and your real account, because somebody, I don't want to call out names, but somebody played on their paper trade and then accidentally they were executing on their real account.
Me.
You don't have to say who you are, but yeah.
Crazy.
He was testing theories on his real account, thinking he's on paper trade. And
Crazy.
he took a hit that day, a big hit.
He didn't make money.
Not only he didn't make money, he lost money.
Yeah, I was doing all the days green in the paper. At some moment, I switched to my real to show something to someone, and then I forget, and I was testing another things, and I lost 18K from 30. So huge.
Yeah,
Might
send me
be.
that. I saw it. It was not nice.
Very bad.
That's depressing.
And the guy told me he didn't know the difference. So the difference is paper trade is yellow. You're gonna see a yellow background around your charts. You're gonna see yellow on the top left side with the amount in your account. It says demo. Your real account should show your name and your amount, and there's no yellow backgrounds. There's regular, background. Okay, so let's continue. And let's get back to intrigue, to Alex. Alex, let's talk about another thing that you've been experiencing lately. Maybe we could try and get another kind of approach this week.
Well, I mean, I mean that's really it, because I notice, I mean, that kind of hits it. I notice when I do find a groove and when I catch it, when I'm catching the market, I know how the market is moving that day. It's like it's a real different ball game, and This happens to me when I go in for scalps, because I go in heavy and then it goes against me, and then the dips, me trying to catch the dips to even come up a little bit more out of it. That's what has been, you know what I'm saying, chewing me instead of me just cutting it. But because I go in for a scalp, I go in heavier, and then I get caught in the wave. You understand? And then I buy the dips, so it's making me go, it's like even more heavier, and it still goes even more versus against my way. It's like each time I'm buying, it's like the more and more I buy, the more and more this shit is going against me.
Yeah, but, I mean, how much do you buy it when you go heavier? Like 20, 30, 10?
On a heavy, I'll do like 5 to 10, close to 10. 10 for a quick scalp.
Okay, so from now on, this week, you're gonna work on another thing, okay? Your starting positions, even if it's a scalp, no more than 2.
Contracts.
Yes, your beginning position is no more than 2, preferably 1. I want
Yossi,
you to
should you
start.
average down on a scalp?
That's why I said you start small.
So it's okay to average down on the scalp.
If you know it's a small move coming, then take profits. Even if you have 2, 3 contracts, just take the profits, because it's gonna come down again. It's gonna come down again. We're trading, most of the charts that I pick out have good bounces most of the time. Okay, that I love to call it the Pac-Man chart for a reason. All right. How many times we traded a chart that no matter how many times you bought the dip, you kept making money?
Yeah,
many of
many
you-
times.
Many
No, we've
times.
done it many times. Yeah, we've
So-
definitely caught it. Like I said, man, once I catch the market like that for that day, I you know, it's just a groove. Like that feeling is like I got it. It's just like boom. Here goes the dip. Here goes it's coming back for a pullback, and it's respecting the 15-minute or the 1 hour trend. It's respecting it. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's still gonna be moving in this direction because it's respecting this trend. It's just, that itchy butt. And I think this kind of right here, I think will be way better because I'm getting caught up. And then as soon as I switch to my paper trade, I'm in green. I'm hitting green left and right, green left and right, green, green, green. So I'm going to just vice versa it and try to change the role.
Remember,
you know what I mean?
The reason why we're changing the role is because when you go on your real account, you're not really warming up. You're scared. You're rusty. You got to loosen up, warm up. And the best way to do it is to do it on a paper trade. So this week, I really want to hear the changes that's going to come out from just approaching the market in this direction. And please, don't go out in the trade chat and blabber about it. This is our therapy session right now. By next week, you need to tell me how this approach went, because right now we have to how you tweak a guitar by constantly twisting and turning the wires up and down. That's what we're going to be doing to you guys, including me. All right, every week that you make some sort of changes, every change you make, you always have to tweak it, and it just gets better and better until you perfect it, and boom, move on to the next issue. In the trading, you have 5 elements. You have emotions, you have risk management, you have charting, there's a bunch of elements that are involved. Don't try to be perfect in all of them in one shot. The best way to do it is go one step at a time. Work on your charting game, work on your approach to the market. See how this week will turn out for you. And if you start seeing more profits, that doesn't mean I don't want you to just trade one time on your account. The reason I want you to trade more on your paper but when you see better opportunities for your real account, jump on. So if you're trading for 3 hours, the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, hop on your paper. You see a good entry, open another window with the real account, and boom, get that 1 or 2, 3 contracts in. You make some profits, boom, get out. Go back to your paper trade for a few more minutes. Don't FOMO because I said go into puts now. And wait another half hour. Another half hour goes by, or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and you really see the chart forming on the bigger time frame, like a 5-minute, 15-minute, and you know a nice reversal is coming off the VWAP. You know, it moved after half hour, you know, and all the way up, and now it's supposed to come back down. Go in again. You know, so this 3 to 4 hour trading time that you did, it's not going to be boring because you're just paper trading, and it's not going to be stressful because you're trading on your real account all day. Okay, so you abuse that time on the paper trade. When you see a good opportunity, hop on your real account, and once you get steady, you can pick up the amounts, because that will make you become a sniper rather than just Rambo running in the front line with a machine gun.
And that's what I've been doing, basically.
Yeah. No, you don't want to do
Yeah.
that. I want you
Yeah.
to be the sniper. Be the sniper. The sniper always gets it.
Yeah, I remember that. I
Rambo
remember
has
doing
more
that shit too. Yeah.
chances to get run over by the herd. Okay. And I can teach you another trick that I do throughout the day is I always have another chart opened. Okay. Both directions, a little out the money, 2-3 strikes out. And let's say SPY's at 392 and it dipped to 389. And I know that the I know that the 392 calls are now cheap. And I know a reversal is coming. So I'm always going to have the other side. This is another dimension of thinking, okay? A regular trader only knows long. When you try to talk short to a regular trader, they don't understand the concept. They're like, yo, screw the shorts, they're killing the market. But they don't understand that we could be a long and we could be a short at the same time. All right? Now, once you start understanding that there's long and short, so everything becomes the opposite. Now, instead of having, before it was ×2, now it's ×4. If you can think ×8 directions, you'll get a little bit more deeper. You'll understand it. It's just a deeper dimension. You got to think about more charts instead of just one. Our brain is, it's designed, if you put it into work, I'm telling you, you could think about 8 charts at the same time. And like I said, in the new ones only focus on one. Like I said, calls. Then you can focus on calls and puts. You have 2. And then you have, from 2, you could jump into 4. Because you have calls and puts in the money, and you have calls and puts out the money. Now imagine you have more calls and more puts a little closer further into the strike, a little closer further out the strike, not necessarily 5 points up or 5 points down. You can have 2 points up or 2 points down. These are just extra charts. And what drives these charts is volatility. Nothing more than that. So if you have SPYs at 390 and you have 389, 390, 391, 392 calls and the same thing on puts, and they're all on separate charts, all these 4 or 5 charts will move at all times. Because they're in the money, you know, they're more like into the money. So this is where they're going. If it's more further out and further, you know, in, then it moves slower. But let's say today's a FOMAC day and SPY is here, and I bought something that's here. Not bought, sorry. Opened up a chart, something that's up here, like a 8 strikes up or 10 strikes up, and I bought something right here. And I keep it on the watch list, on a call and a put. And then all of a sudden you see a reaction coming from FOMAC on an upside. That put becomes worthless. Like a penny, like seriously a penny. In that moment, if you have 1,000 contracts on your thing and you just buy it, all it costs you is $1,000. You understand? Now imagine 20, 30 seconds or a minute later, suddenly the market reacts the opposite direction. That $1,000 will become almost 50 grand, if not more, if you do it right. Now, this is a strategy. I like to just keep it up there. I don't like to focus all day and wait on it.
Mhm.
It's something that doesn't work all the time, because sometimes I'll tell you how it works for me. If I'm going to sit all day and wait for it, I won't catch it on the right time. But if I'll leave it there with some alerts on and focusing on what I'm doing, I'll have a better chance to catch it. You understand what I mean? That's why having multiple monitors is very important. And sometimes
You see,
sometimes it's also very good to take a 5-minute walk outside.
you see,
Ah,
what kind of alerts are you talking about? What kind of alert you put in the in that charts?
Oh, you talk about the chart alerts, the lines.
like let's
On the
say,
chart.
let's say I put out the money puts or calls, and the puts right now is at 50 cents. I would put alerts at 10 cents, 5 cents, 15 cents. So when
Okay.
it's hitting the alerts, I want to see it. That means it's dips time. So now I want to look at SPY. I'm seeing SPY has a chance to come back, even on a half reversal or something, because those cheap dips with right volatility can multiply. Now, sometimes right before market close, you can find $2, $3 out, $2, $3 par. Or if you traded it earlier today and it was more money, and now it's all of a sudden 20 minutes before close and they're worth 1 penny or 5 cents or 2 cents, whatever it may be. And you made $1,000 that day. Take 200. Find one of those runners that could be a nice reversal throughout the close. Sometimes these cheap contracts could become 4,000, 5,000%. And this past 2 weeks, I've been showing Noor a few times how I was able to make 3,000, 4,000%. I sent it to him almost every day. No, like 3 times. I said, Noor, watch this, Noor, check this. I wanted to teach him because some people, yeah, the alerts make the sound. Some people don't understand the power of these lotto plays. That's why I call it lotto. But if you have a small account, these are not for you. This will turn a small account into a gambler account. No. This is, again, this is house money. So if you made $100 today, you could take $30 and buy 30 contracts. Because remember, once you've also bought contracts, there's fees. You're going to pay fees. So you might as well make sure that the money that you're putting in, even if you're going to lose it, you're still going to have to pay fees. So if you bought 30 contracts and they're charging you 50 cents a contract, that's $1. If you bought and sold. But if you didn't sell, it's still $50. I mean, sorry, $1 per contract. So it's $30. So if you bought 30 contracts and you lost that $30, or $60, you still got to pay them another $30 or whatever it is for fees,
Mhm.
or $15. So this is for someone who already made profits and has money just sitting on the side, and he doesn't care to play lotto. Don't take too many lottos. Lottos is for someone who has winning monies. Okay, if you're a beginner and you're listening to this, this is not meant for you. This is meant for the more advanced ones, the ones who are more ahead in the game. Okay,
Mhm.
you can listen, you can install it here. In the future, you're going to be doing this too. Okay, but focus on what we spoke earlier in the session. All right.
Yossi, so you saying setting up these more out of the money strikes, they keeping them set up on a watch list and just first, but initially when you going into these out of the money strikes, you're setting the alerts first and then leaving them on the watch list, right? Okay. All right. And you are you looking for like the previous points spread between the price, and that helps decipher how far out of the money you're gonna go with a possible bounce?
Are you watching my screen?
Yes.
I'll give you an example. Somewhere around here, this is around 2 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Down here, this is 404. Up here is 407. So let's say all day, we're having this price action. The 407 calls are worthless here. Imagine Yossi's telling you here for an hour, hey, I see a nice squeeze coming up. So instead of trying to chase in the money calls or puts, say, hey, you know what? Let me put $200 and buy these dead 407 calls, because when this breakout happens, this $200 could be $1,000.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Say no more. Yeah.
Now,
Makes
Yeah,
sometimes you're gonna hear when we come to this area on Friday, this area right here, we have vets that were telling me, Yossi, I see puts coming, I see it cracking down at somewhere around here. They're like, Yossi, it's dangerous. And I told them that I don't see it crack coming. And some people took puts here. Okay. And some people said, no, I'm with you, Yossi. And I shared another out of the money strike. I don't know if I posted it or if I wrote it out, but I remember taking a few calls strike, a few in the money, a little out the money. And on the way up, I was patient and boom, boom. You know what I mean? So down here.
So how do you know how do you know that was a change that was a reversal of the trend at that point?
I was talking about the 1 hour a lot, I remember.
Uh-huh.
So let's look at the 1 hour. Damn, look at Friday. So on 1 hour, I saw, you see the downtrend line I have here?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That was a break. Whoa.
So pre-market, I saw this.
The wick, so it caused like a gap that needed to be filled.
No, I see the pressure. I see the pressure pre-market came in already. And if you noticed throughout the whole day, we were playing the volatility. Okay. So when this happened, I knew for a fact it is gonna dip. They want people to see the dip. They want people to play the puts. And a lot of puts came over here. And here we're playing calls. So if you're here and you're buying out the money, the volatility might not be good from here to here, but but when it goes from the bottom to the top, it's a rewarding. but I don't recommend you to focus on that. The more you're in the money, the faster your option moves. The more further the strike is, the slower it moves. So sometimes buying the dip could go against you. So I like this strategy more throughout 12:30, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is when most options get like destroyed. Okay. So that's when I like to see a little out the money on both sides and take it. Like sometimes I'll do like 20 grand that day. I'll take 3, 4 grand, then I'll put 2 grand here, I'll put a grand here, I'll put a grand there, you know, out of the money with alerts. One of them is gonna bang, you know what I mean? Like, so I lost $1,000 or I lost $2,000, but the other 2,000 that I already have in just brought me back like another 7,000 each. You understand what I mean?
Right.
Because you're not making 50%. When SPY moves from right here to all the way up here, okay, I'm gonna make you you see this line right here? I'm gonna make a different color. Tell me you guys can see it. I don't know what color to do it. Let's do red. Green. See the green line? Imagine you're holding this and you bought it here at like 20 cents, 5 cents. Sometimes it could even go down to like, you know, a penny from the volatility of the market going down. And it could go all the way down to like penny. Now imagine you bought like 500 of those or 1,000 of those contracts at that 1 cent, 2 cent dip. And all of a sudden that thing goes to $1, $2.
Oh my God.
$3.
Oh man.
Sometimes it goes
man.
to 80 cents, 50 cents. That's, you know how many times you're multiplying your money?
Yo, you know, I've caught that before, you'll see. And I caught a play like that, and it was actually by mistake. But when I looked at that account, it was so far in the green. I was like, holy crap. And it was when I was playing out of the money, you know, and that play just ripped. It just caught exactly what you explained and exactly what you're breaking down right there. So, oh man, that is fucking dope. Yeah.
Now look.
Yeah.
Look how the day happened. This is the 15-minute. From the 1 hour, I saw that trend, and I saw how in pre-market it just kept trying, broke out, wick down. That's how I knew that manipulation game is starting. They're gonna bring it down, but it's gonna come up. It came down, held, came up, rejected, came back down, created a bear flag, like straight up manipulation.
Straight up, you could see it.
Manipulation, and people here bought so many puts. I remember running the bot in the chat that moment, and I saw so many puts came in from the dark web, the black what's it called? No, the options bot. Here, this guy.
A dark pool?
I'll show you which one. It was around 1 p.m. Okay, so I gotta scroll up to 1 p.m. I'll link it, but basically, yeah, there it is. There it is. SPY.
That's a bull flag, yo. So you said a bear flag. That's a bull flag.
Here. Watch. Look. Look at the trading chat. I want you to click on that command of the option bot. And look how many people at that time already started to go in on puts. You see it? Here, I'll bring it up to my screen so you could see it.
Can't see the bot.
Here. Look at my screen.
Oh yeah, I saw that Friday.
So look how everybody's starting to get into the puts.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, I spoke about it last week in the Zoom. I said that sometimes I like to go against the options bot because I know how the market manipulates.
Right.
This right here, this is the, you're gonna laugh.
This was a confirmation? Like, was it
Listen,
like
listen,
a confirmation?
You know how I say all the time how the market was designed for at least 90% of the population or the investors to fail. And only 10% really make it, but there are only 3% who are really clapping. So if you look at this, you can see the herd right here, right in front of your face. The herd is right there. Where is the herd at right now? On the puts. And where is the least of the herd at?
On the calls. On the calls.
You understand? Now, it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work because sometimes if we have any good data coming or good news coming, that could change. But I want you to take advantage, and when I shared the bot information, I want you to see throughout the day how the market reacted according to the amount of volume that you see going in. You're going to see some days a lot of calls coming in all of a sudden, and then you see the market playing against them. Like, it's so obvious. You're going to see it. Use that bot to your advantage, bro.
How is that bot used? Can you break it down?
If you go to Trade Chat,
Uh-huh.
only I can command it.
Okay.
But if you go to let's see, ticker info on resources.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to type this command slash.
Hold on. Resources. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Flow, FLOW. And let me know if any other words come up. Anything else pops up.
It has 6 options.
Do you see flow sum top?
Hold on. Oh wait.
No. Don't just type flow.
No,
Just,
I know cash flow. All right. It says period, parameter 1, parameter 2, parameter 3, parameter 4, freeform.
here, I'm gonna do it and I'll send you a screenshot and you tell me if you see that, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna send the screenshot into the trade chat right now. You see the first one where it
top.
says
Yeah,
flow sum
no,
top?
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't give us. I don't think it gives us that.
Yeah, that's why I said
let me
the
see.
spot is under, it's like linked to me. And it's
Yeah.
your bot is basically a pet, bro. It's hard to, some of these bots is hard to command them to take. I don't know how to set it up. Maybe my developer knows how to do it, but I know at this point nobody has access to it because of abuse. Like, I don't want to over abuse it, and then we might lose access to it. So I do it like 2-3 times a day, in the morning, midday, noon, just to show you where the herd is at. It's very important to always know where the market's at. You see so many times, you can look at all these pressure selling throughout the day. That's just the market screwing around. People are taking profits. people shorting, going long. It's not just SPY, the whole market was like that. The market is moving the same way. When market takes off, crypto starts to move. You know, all of a sudden everything is moving together. So be very careful. What other thing you wanted to talk about?
Crypto?
Who just asked if I have RSI in my charts? Yes, I do have RSI just on the 1 minute chart.
Okay.
I sent it to you, no? The watch list.
No.
You won't use it. You won't use the RSI on the bigger time frame. And as far as seeing where the possible downs and ups are.
Only if
How
I'm
far?
swinging something.
Okay. Only on the
Day
swing.
trading, why would I need the RSI on the big time frames? We're trading volatility anyways.
So yeah. So okay.
Yes, may I ask you a question?
So
Yeah,
it
go
doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't for me not. I mean, some people use it. I personally only use it on the 1 minute just to see the flow, the way it's moving.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
Go ahead, Juan.
About the RSI, in 1 minute, I use it too, but how do you read it? Because let's say I marked three resistance and support lines in the RSI. I have marked 60 level 60 and 40 level in the RSI, because if you can see it, it always it's a resistance or a support line. Do you use it the same way?
No. In the beginning, you're going to use it like that. In the beginning, you're going to chart the RSI all day until there comes a time where you just see things without even charting.
Okay.
So yeah, chart. The more you chart, the faster you'll get there. You need a few hundred hours of chart experience before you can, you need, that's no joke. Your eyes need to already see things before it happens. That's when you know you're going somewhere. The first 400 hours are going to be like this, like trial and error, practicing, asking questions. After 400 hours, you're going to start seeing and understanding. And by the time you get to 1,000 hours, you're going to be a professional.
Okay.
There's no way in the world you're going to do 1,000 hours on a chart and you don't know what you're talking about.
I think Yossi, I think he was talking about the levels of a overbought and undersold levels.
No. You have the oversold and overbought in I have in 70-30. But when you see another levels like the 60 level in the RSI, 60 level, it's always like a support line. So when you saw the price and you saw the RSI always, the price always stop in the 60 level and then goes down, and after that goes up again, and it usually the 60 level, it's a support line, it's a resistance line.
Resistance.
Sorry. Yeah, resistance. And the 40 line,
okay, yeah, I got you.
It's a support. Okay, that's what I see.
Okay, no, I got you. Makes sense.
Listen, keep drawing it. I want you to understand, RSI, it's more like a throttle. You know what a throttle is? You drive a car,
Yeah.
you press on the gas, that gas is a throttle.
Okay.
So the more the RSI goes up, That's more the market's pushing on the throttle. So you could be at 50, 60, it's half throttle, but when it goes over 70, that's when you hold on to your, with the seatbelt. Things are gonna start shooting. That's how you know pressure's coming in.
So
That's how you use the
the
RSI. RSI, I would use it on more like 5-minute chart. You can use it too. If you don't want to go crazy with the RSI. I only use the RSI on the 1 minute to see the throttle pressure. The 5-minute can show you when it's about to crack. You know what I mean? Like on the 1 minute, it's always going to go up and down and volatile, but on the 5-minute, when it moves on the 5, you'll be able to see a lot of fake outs. You're going to see how when the RSI is not on the right support and it goes lower. On the 5-minute, it's less volatile and it's so clear. You'll be like, hey, I see a knife coming. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So let me ask you, Yossi, over the 70 level, that means that it's about to shoot up.
Yeah, I mean, go on the chart and just scroll up every time the RSI went over 70 and look at the price action. You'll see the type of candles form when it goes over 70, and they're not normal candles. Unless it's a choppy day. You can't expect much from a choppy day. But look at the normal days. Look, every time the RSI went over that 70. If you're watching the charts, scroll on your charts. Linda, are you watching? You see the difference of the candles when the RSI hit over 70? I can't
And
hear.
you're talking about in the 5-minute time frame, right?
I would prefer in the 1 minute. That's where you
Okay.
see throttle.
Okay.
The 5-minute is to identify when there's going to be a fake out or a breakout. More or less, I use it for the knives, if you ask me.
Okay, I see. All right. Now let me see.
Is Hassan here?
Yeah.
Hassan, do you have any questions tonight?
Yeah, my question was about you with your updated charts, how to, like the price levels you drew with the blue line and the green line.
About it?
Oh, I know, like, how do you know when they're about to fail? Like if it's going to go against what they're supposed to do. Like one kind of tells you when the price action is going to kind of go up. The other one's going to tell you it's like a hard resistance. But when is it going to be? What are the signs that show you that's going to do the opposite of that?
Well, I want you, since you have my lines, again, these, when I say lines, these are lines I've manually put in with my price level. That tool I showed you guys how to use in the beginning of the session, that's the same tool I used. All you got to do is zoom out of the chart on the 4-hour, maybe on the 1 daily chart, and look at the levels. Look at the previous supports and resistance from a year, 2 years, 3 years ago. Don't just look at the past 2-3 months. Look where it landed before, how it held, how it broke out, where it cracked. So it's repeating the past. It's repeating the history. It's repeating history gaps. Sometimes SPY moves funny today, and 3 months from now, it's going to repeat the same move. Sometimes SPY looks like it's cracking, but it comes back up, and then 2-3 months later, it does the same move again. So if you zoom out of the chart and you look at the whole time frame, you'll be able to identify moves and the supports. So when you look at the supports, you're going to be like, okay, that looks like a thick area. So when I'm zooming in, I know that these levels are more of a thicker area. The levels on top on a deeper time frame are more like zoomed in. You understand? When you, I want you to look at the 4-hour chart. Look at the 4-hour chart.
Okay.
Okay, no, forget the 4-hour. We're gonna go to the weekly. Do you all have the weekly chart? WK. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen as well. You watching? Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all these levels that I have here are just showing you the price action that has been going on this whole entire time. But if on the weekly, you won't see every level, but it gives you more an idea. When you zoom in, let's say to the daily chart, okay, you start to see a little bit more detail of why this red line here is a dangerous line. This is a line where it always goes through, and when it goes through, it goes the opposite direction. It doesn't just stop and comes back down. It always has price action every time it goes in between. So this is an important area to look at. These areas, I like to look at more riskier moves, more longer moves, out of the money moves, because anytime it comes near this area, we see a big push or a big crack. So that's why I like to use this red like a wall, you know, and this is a good wall that every time it touched, we could see that it cracked on the downside. And if it went on the upside, it broke out on the upside, just like here. You see that? So everyone's anticipating that this thing is going to crack again and come back into this downtrend. Okay, I don't see that happening yet. So if we zoom in to the 4 hours, if we go back to the daily, you remember that right now we're going to be chilling in this area in the 4 hour. This is the area of the daily that we're going to be looking into the 4 hours. So when you're asking me what are those lines are, if you zoom out on the daily, you'll see how far these levels go back. These levels go back during the pandemic time.
Okay, I see that now. Yeah.
Okay, we do have lower levels, but the market is right now currently here where the red is. So when you are looking at the chart, you kind of know where it is right now. So when we zoom into the 4 hour, into this section, it's more clear to you now. Now you see the thick red lines that we had in the center, right? You see the trading gap in between this. So this gap in between is usually in the bigger time frame. You see how it constantly comes into this area and comes down. So this is a trading gap. All right. Every time it cracked, this was a new, like pretend if you're looking at the chart from the red lines, the bottom red lines, pretend that this is a wall. And this side can't see this side. Vice versa. This is just a big wall in the middle. So every time it comes out of the wall, it's like an exit. It's going to go on a long journey. When it comes in the wall, it usually does take journeys, but very small journeys. Okay? Are you seeing all this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now when we're going in, let's go to the 1 hour chart. Okay, now we're zooming in more into the area of where it is. Let's go back to the 4 hour one more time. And we're going into this area right now. We're zooming into the 1 hour. This is what we're going to see. Okay, this just gives you a better idea of the lines when you're looking at it and why it's so thick in the middle. So why do we have a big gap here without any other lines? Is because this area in the past showed us a lot of weaknesses. There was no solid supports. It just kept cracking down. It comes back down towards this area. So this right here is also a sign of, weakness. It cracked, and now we're trying to break out. So we do know that if this breaks out of this area again, it's bound to do another move here. But this is resistant no matter what. So now that we're looking at the bigger time frame again in the 4-hour, we see a new resistant, a resistant here and a resistant here. So this is like a nice little trading channel. If we move it to the left, extend it to the left, same thing here. We're going to change this into the blue. And now we kind of have more of a clear direction. Now, if you come back out to the daily, look how it looks. Are you all following?
We're staying in that channel.
So now this is we're looking at the daily channel. So we see our supports and resistance, and now we see our new little our little wedge that's creating. Okay. So now as we zoom in, let's look at the weekly, for instance. Look, within 2 new blue lines, look how clear it looks now. Gives you a better vision of what's about to happen. Yeah, so let's start changing the chart to the 1 hour. Remember, those were the trading channels. So now that you're asking me, Yossi, what are these blue lines? We know what the blue lines are, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's zoom in. Now that we're on the 1 hour, we're gonna zoom in now to this area. Okay, when you zoom into the 30-minute, it goes more deeper. See, it's the top area. So all these levels mean something. This red level is a good support. It held here, held here. So we see a lot of good support coming from the 404 levels. Zoom into the 15, and the 50-minute just brings you more closer into the picture. If you want, zoom into the 5-minute. 5-minute is still going to give you all the levels. So if you see on Friday, it resisted, went over the level. Now it's during this. This is where it's supposed to gap up to here and break out. When it breaks out, it has another trading range from here to here. There's no real resistance unless you're looking at right here. You know what I mean? But the gap is nice. There's no like yeah, I can't see anything. Hold on.
See, when you say that, Yossi, it makes me feel like I have to like look for calls. I mean, if I was going to play in a real account, or like I would do that on paper trading. I would look for real calls.
Real calls, yes, but this is also a resistance here. Resistance can bring it back down. So we only take them when we see confirmation. Okay, look at the 1 minute. Same thing with the 1 minute. We don't see confirmation of a breakout, we don't touch it. So this is the trading channel. The wedge. Let's look at the monthly. Beautiful chart, but I really want to see strength. By next month, we should. If we're not going to see a run up in the market, we're going to see another crack. You see that? Each candle takes a month to form. This is the monthly chart. So bear in mind, SPY is in a zone where it has to break out. If it does not break out, I've seen charts take 3 times, 1, 2, and 3. So if it doesn't break out now, we could be coming to this low for another scoop up. So don't FOMO all the ones who is telling you that market could make new highs. There's no confirmation yet. There's no confirmation yet. Nobody could tell you the market is going to do new highs. Okay?
Okay.
Anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question.
Wait, hold on. You're gonna have to hold on to your questions right now. This question is the more advanced members.
Okay.
And when we get back, we'll talk about it. I want to give others a chance, okay?
Sure.
Let's see. Who else is here? Shmuel? Will you here? Nope. He's probably busy with the wife. How about Sam? Sam, you here? Sam B?
Sam D, the spy doctor, huh?
Yeah, I'm here.
You have any questions for anything you want to talk about? Maybe your struggle is someone else's struggle.
Well, the most important thing, Jesse, you once told me was that the name of the game is to stay in the game. And honestly, I think that that should be the most important focus for people, because they invest so much in the charting and in all the actual technicals, but they got to learn their own head first.
Sorry, I'm back.
Nice. I'm very happy to hear that positivity coming out of you. You guys know what that means, right? Baruch Hashem, he's on the green team already. You know what I mean? It's, we have some students who are in a good path, and you guys can ask him what led him to be on that path. Like, how did he get there? Usually when I ask a question, someone has always a problem, like, yo, how do we do this? Or how do they do that? Or, he doesn't have that. Now it's more like he's giving encouragement. So maybe you guys want to ask him now, like, what changed, what got him to where he is today?
Well, obviously, I've took big losses in the past, and an important thing I realized was that not to shrug off a loss, but you gotta like really live in the moment of that loss and dissect it to know what exactly went wrong, and to really internalize that lesson to stop it from happening again in the future. Or else, if you don't internalize that, it's guaranteed to happen again, and they got no doubt about it, it's going to happen again. So until you really internalize that, that's the only way you're going to keep growing.
Beautiful, man. I'm happy for you. We're all happy for you. Keep doing what you're doing. Shmuel, you want to talk a little bit? You want to share some of yours? You don't have to if you don't want to. You could share whatever you want. Just feel free. Some people might be going to
ask you more.
Go for it. Ask.
I want to know, on Friday, you had 700 contracts and you sold most of them and you left 80. That was all the way when it rejected the VWAP and everyone was telling you to flatten, but that was when it was lower. But you were already saying there's still room higher. What did you see that there was room higher when it already rejected the VWAP?
Let's go on the chart. Where is how do I share? So if I remember, we saw the 1 hour candle. Okay, you saw that rejection?
Yeah.
Rejection. Now, look at all these bearish candles. And then a bullish candle breaks out right here. And that's the 1 hour. That's already a start. Now let's look at the right here. Yeah. Let me stop making it big. There you go again. This candle was a rejection of the VWAP. It started to form a trend. A rejection again, but this was a breakout on the 1 hour on this candle. That's what made me look at it. And then look, the next candle kept coming up again. Let's look at the 15-minute. I was talking about the 15-minute. Look at the trend in the 15. You guys see the difference when you dissect it from a more of a bigger time frame and you zoom in? When you have all time frames open, sometimes it's good to take a 5-minute walk. It used to work for me in my beginning stages. Every time things were too overwhelming, I stopped. I took a 5-minute walk. And when I came back in, I was able to execute a best trade of the day. Because when you come out and you will come back in, it's just your approach is a little different. I want you guys to try it at least 4 times a day. Meaning, if you're trading for all day, 4 times. If you're trading for half a day, 2 times. But find times to walk for 5 minutes. When you're feeling, when you took that trade, you made your profit. You made profits, go take a walk 5 minutes. And you'll come back and you'll be able to get back on your paper trade. And then when you see that good entry, hop on your real account. You made money, stop, get up, take a 5-minute walk, come back in again. Rinse and repeat that. You know, start making new good habits, especially for the ones who are trading often. And like in the beginning, we trade a lot so we could get experience. But as we get experience, we need to trade less. Use your paper trade, use your real account when you see good entries. And once you start building good amount of profits, that's when you're on the road to success. You start taking your profits, you're putting it into long-term accounts. You start withdrawing profits, spending it on the weekend. You know, we have some students in the community who are living that life already. You know, they just stay humble, they're quiet. They ask me not to talk about it. Sometimes they join the session, sometimes they don't, but you know, it's possible. They also started from the bottom. They also took some losses. They also went through some mistakes that, you know, that taught them the lesson at one point. But once you get these little corners fixed, I promise, like, you'll be good. You'll be good. There's no other better feeling that when things are just going your way. And the only way that's going to happen is when you do things the right way. Stay disciplined. Don't FOMO. Don't listen to anyone else in the group, because remember, they're elites, they're golds, they don't know much. Most of them wish to be here and open their mind up and hear what you guys are hearing. You guys are actually practicing and throwing drills throughout the day on the trading hours, on the trading sessions. They're not doing it. They're just chasing alerts. So do these things. If you feel like you're going through hardship and you're losing confidence because you took some losses, you made some mistakes, the only way to bring that confidence back is to make our to-do list that we spoke about today. We made a few things that we have to do for the beginners, for the more advanced. I remember giving some to-dos to Intrigue. You know, everything we spoke about to do this week, I want to talk about it next week. And I want you all to tell me how your week went by applying these little changes, by starting your paper instead of your reel, and take entries on your reel when you see good entries. Take 5-minute walks when you're done. Like straight up walk, no cell phones, nothing. Just look outside, look at the sun, just take a walk. Your mind has to come out of the screen. When you come back in, you'll see yourself. You're gonna spot different setups on SPY. And you yourself are gonna be like, yo, Yossi, I see this coming. And I'll be like, wow, man, good spot. You know, like, because sometimes when you're too focused on the chart, you get lost. So do these little steps. And I might do it too if you guys do it, you know? Who knows? I'm just too busy with you guys on live every few minutes. So it's hard for me to take these walks. But trust me, these walks help me identify a lot. Sometimes somebody comes and kidnaps me for 20 minutes. You know, it happened. They come, they take me out to a drink, to pizza, and I come back and I'm ready and I spot another nice trade. So while everyone is sweating balls and averaging down on a Tesla trade, I just came in and I bought the dip with the best entry while everyone else is down on their plays. And you just make money. Be the smart trader. You understand? Be the sniper. Be the one that comes, finds the prey, takes it, and bounce. Don't be the Rambo guy. Any other questions, Shmuel? Talk to me.
No, I noticed that, like what you're saying, that whenever you're just too focused on what you're doing at the moment, you lose track that there's a bigger picture. So in the bigger picture, you will be able to tell if there's a reversal coming. But because you're too focused on that one candle that you're looking at, you would think that it's going to continue going down or whatever it is. So
Exactly. Now imagine you're starting that routine, and at one point, that routine grows in numbers. You're comfortable playing small because you're obviously catching good dips. Eventually, you pick up your sizes on these dips. You see good entry, you pick up your sizing eventually. You know, but don't get too cocky. When it works out for you for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, stay the same. Be consistent for a while. If you're building 10, 20, 30 grand, you got to reach out to me, say, Yossi, I'm up 10 grand. If let's say you had 10 and you're up now 20, don't be there trading with that same money. You got to hit me up, say, Yossi, I'm up 10 grand, man. I'm up 100% of my account. What do I do? I need to start guiding you what to do. If you have a 50,000 in account and you made 100 out of it, reach out to me. I'll give you a guidance. Don't keep that money in the account and put yourself in a position where you're going to buy dips and lose that money. Okay?
yes.
I'm not trying to put nobody down. You know,
Well, that's what I love about Yossi. A few months ago, 100,000 was like numbers you wouldn't even imagine. He talks about it like, yeah, when you get 100,000, like it's gonna happen tomorrow.
It will.
It can't,
Confidence
bro.
as he builds in you.
Bro, it's crazy because shit, I believe it. I've seen it. I mean, it's had happened to me. I'm like, whoa, what the, you know, it's like one move that can just turn everything around. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's where I realized that the risk management was so important to like, you know, I already explained my mistakes, the mistakes that I've been making as of recent, but cut the losses short when they not really moving your way, and you know, just to not dwell. And that's one thing too. When I lose, it really it not really, but it affects my confidence. But I know I've noticed that, and I've learned to get more. Okay, a loss is a loss. Keep it moving. Go on to the next trade. Don't bring your losing trade, or don't bring your last trade into your next trade.
Exactly. So let's try these drills this week and see how it works. And I myself, I'm gonna take twice a day 5-minute walks. So
yeah,
definitely. Anybody else have any questions? Let's see who else is here that didn't speak yet. Ariel, I know Ariel was doing pretty good on Friday. He was following us on the chat. Ariel, you here? He probably is here. He's probably, who else is here? Levy, how about Levy? Levy, were you here on Friday? I think they're muted. Okay. All right, I guess everybody finished with questions.
Yes, so I just wanted to make sure there's a clear breakout on the weekly with this SPY, right? At this point.
Let me see.
On the weekly, on a downtrend. Like it's so clear. But it doesn't seem strong. It might retrace.
There's no confirmation yet. There's
Okay.
We're still in that little channel. And the channel could be starting to downtrend for a while. We have another like a good month and a half that we could be playing around. Not a month, I would say 1, 2, about, like I said before, from the monthly, within a month to 2 months on the monthly chart. Let me see. Within a month to 2 months, by next month or the month after, if we don't make
a confirmation.
Yeah. If you look
on
at
a breakout.
Look at the monthly chart. You see it?
Hold on. Why am I don't even know why it doesn't have it here. Let me set it up now.
Now, what I'm gonna do with you guys is once a week, or at least I could try. I can give you guys my updated SPY chart with the lines that I've drawn throughout the week. So every time you could install it and your SPY chart will automatically update. You guys want to do that?
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, yeah, I see the monthly. I see it, Yossi. I see exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah, it's not completely confirmed.
Not complete. We need one more candle.
Yeah, this candle's not even what you call it. All right, now I get it. I see.
You see the two red lines on the monthly? So that's a nice support. That's a support zone.
Yeah, I actually got them. That's crazy. I got a alerts for both the top and the bottom of that zone. That's funny. Okay, I see it now. All right. So this is not a complete, it's not a confirmed breakout.
Remember, right now it's momentums. There's no confirmation yet. On a bigger time frame, no. There's more confirmations on smaller time frames. And sometimes you have to look at the big time frames while the small time frames are having volatile moments. Because on a bigger time frame, you can crack a support. And on a small time frame, you can have a banger. If you just watch the bigger time frame. You know what I mean? Instead of having a 3-point play, you can have a 10-point play because it cracked a weekly or a monthly support.
Yes.
Charting is very important. If you watch the bigger time frames and you take those 5-minute or 2-minute walks and you come back and you look at the bigger time frames, you'll register it better.
100%.
That's interesting. The psychology of this shit is crazy.
The what?
I said the psychology of this is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's creepy.
But it's scary because it's a reflection of you, of who you are. deeply as a person.
It's creepy, man. You just gotta have multi dimensions of ways of thinking. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not promoting this, but let me stop the recording. Okay.